Hello Toy Collector fans, Universal Toy Collector here and welcome to the channel. With the Haslab Cantina due to arrive in the coming weeks, plus the fact we have a TVC Haslab currently funding in the form of the LAAT Republic Gunship, I thought I'd take a look at the TVC Haslabs I currently have in my collection. Okie dokie then, so we shall start off with Jabba's sail barge, also known as the Katana, and this was the first Haslab project that Hasbro ventured on, and it ran from February the 17th to April the 3rd in 2018. 5,000 backers were needed for it to fully fund. It closed with a total of 8,810 backers. It shipped in 2019 at a cost of $499 US 99 cents. It was available in the US, Canada, and there were limited numbers available worldwide. Now, for me, for a first Haslab project, this was an absolute treat. Wow, they really did set the bar very, very high with this katana, I've got to say. Currently on a tripod, what I'm going to do is go handheld, get a little bit closer, and just give you a closer look at some of the awesome detail that you can find with this sail barge. So 2 seconds. Righty ho then, so what I'm going to do then is just slowly move the camera along the length of the katana so you can see the inside, and the attention to detail is absolutely stunning. Now mine isn't packed full of people, but that's okay, I'm not too worried about that. But what I'll do is if I zoom in like so, as you can see on the wall here, you've got that image or that picture of Jabba the Hutt with the Gamorrean guard head on the top there. And then if I pan back this way, above Efont Man there, you've got a statue of the Rancor. Very nicely done, yeah. So attention to detail. And look at all this weathering inside. So you have a panel that goes over this bit here. So you don't get to see that, but they've still done that attention to detail. Absolutely superb. The question is, would I have paid $499 for this? Yes, absolutely I would have done. Like I said, this was only limited worldwide, so the numbers weren't great, and a few lucky people managed to pick up the katana in the UK. I wasn't one of them. I only found out about this when I went onto YouTube in 2020 and watched a couple of reviews. I mean, look at the paintwork and the weathering on those doors there and on the floor. Absolutely stunning. So the reviews I watched were those of Tim from Bosk's Bounty and Nick, only one Kenobi. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm liking this. So I thought I'd grab one. So I did. I went onto the secondary market and I paid a pretty penny. So let me just stand up and get a view from above. So you've got the red sails there. But yeah, I paid a pretty penny for this. So the seller was asking $1,500. So I had the money at the time, so I thought, why not? So I bid for it, or I didn't bid for it, I paid for it, bought it, and then realised that there was shipping and import taxes involved as well, which added another $1,000 to it. So this, for me, cost me $2,500. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going, why the hell did you pay that, you absolute fool? I wouldn't have paid that. No, you're right. You know, it is a lot of money. Like I say, I wasn't expecting the import tax or the shipping to be so high. But nonetheless, I paid for it. I bought it. And to be quite honest with you, the asking price was $1,500. That now is relatively cheap compared to what I have seen now on eBay this day and age. And it was only back in March or April this year when I went to MCM London that there was a seller wanting £4,500 for this. It was fully boxed, and I do have the box for this, but yeah, I wouldn't have paid that much. So thinking about it, I'm glad I got it when I did. But yeah, it is a lot of money. And if I'm honest, I don't think Hasbro have done well, I don't think they've kept their standards up when it comes to the other Haslabs that they've done. And we'll take a look at that shortly. We've got the Razor Crest coming up next. So I just want to show you a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, look at the back there. The detail, you've got all the bits and bobs on the wall. You've got the kitchen area here as well. Hope that comes out okay. But yeah, it's just an incredible piece. Absolutely stunning. Really glad I got it. Even though it did cost me an arm and a leg, so to speak. Right, okay, let's crack on then and take a butcher's at the Razor Crest. 2 seconds. Next up then we have the Razor Crest, and this was Hasbro's second TVC Haslab project, and it ran from September the 25th to November the 9th in 2022. There were 6,000 backers needed for this to fully fund, and within 24 hours it was fully funded, and no surprise really, because this came hot off the back of season 1 of the TV show The Mandalorian. So yeah, no surprises that this fully backed. It closed with a total of an amazing 28,246 backers, and it shipped in 2023 at a cost of $349 and 349 Great British pounds 99 pence. This was available in the US, Canada, but this time round they made it available in certain parts of the world via Hasbro Pulse. So yeah, as soon as this, well, I was in on this straight away. I wasn't going to muck about. I backed this straight away. Glad I did. I love the Mandalorian. I love the design of the ship. Again, I think the quality is really, really good. But in some places, they did lack that attention to detail and quality that you got on the Katana. So what I'm going to do is, once again, take the camera off the tripod and go handheld. 2 seconds. Alrighty then, so I'm now handheld, and what I'll do is I'll just go straight in to the bit that I'm not happy about, and that's this blue panel here. Now, there is a cover that goes over the top of that, but like on the Katana, you had that weathering on the inside, even though you're going to put a outer cover on it, so you're not going to see it when the cover's on there. They kind of cheaped out on this. It's just blue. It doesn't look great, and I really do wish they'd have put some weathering on there. And it's not just that panel there. What annoys me the most is if you come in here and you can see the weathering and the dirt and grime on that panel there, but then if you look at the panel above, there's no weathering, dirt or grime. There's no weathering, dirt or grime on this panel here, and if I pan the camera around, you can see the floor. There's no real dirt or grime there either. The rest of the ship though, you look at the outside, absolutely superb. The attention to detail on the outside is second to none. I think it's absolutely superb. I love what they've done. I love these engines. I think they look pretty cool, and I like the overall look of the ship. I think they've done a great job, but I think they have cheaped out a little bit on the weathering in certain aspects. Now, I know some people had trouble with their back ramp. It didn't close properly. Luckily, I've had no issues with mine. And also, this was another issue as well. Just bear with me. If I come down here, this, where the landing gear comes, or you can fit the landing gear, that never closed properly on some people's. It dropped back. Again, luckily, I've had no issues with mine. I mean, to be honest with you, overall, I'm really, really happy with this. And I think the price that it was, you can't grumble. 349 Great British pounds. So yeah, money well spent there, in my opinion. I mean, I like it. It came with 2 carded figures. It came with Grogu, and it came with the Jawa Elder. But yeah, I've got to say, really impressed. I love the stand. I think the stand's absolutely superb. Now, for a good long while, I did have it displayed in landing mode, but no, I've decided to put it on the stand there. So yeah, really happy with that. So the 2 figures that I got with this, or that came with this, should I say, I sent off to be graded, and I will show you those figures towards the end of the video. But yeah, I mean, happy with this, like it, and it was a decent price as well. £349. But it did lack that awesome attention to detail that you did get with the katana. Again, these are just my opinions. This is mine. I've got it in front of me. I'm just saying it how it is. So yeah. Right, let's crack on with the Ghost. 2 seconds. So next up we have the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. Or should I say Ahsoka, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And this was Hasbro's third TVC Haslab project. And it ran from July 21st to September 6th in 2023. With 8,000 backers needed for it to fully fund. Now this did have different stretch goals, pretty much like the Razor Crest, but the final stretch goal was 17,000. And with about a day and a half left before the closing date of this particular Haslab, I turned round and confidently said, well, and stupidly said, that this wasn't going to reach the final tier, 17,000 backers. So what I said was, if it reaches 17,000 backers, I will then change my name to Sue for the rest of the year. And it closed with a total of 21,768 backers. So what do I know? Anyhow, this shipped in 2024 at a cost of $499 US 99 cents and 499 Great British pounds 99 pence. Again, available in the US, Canada, and of course Hasbro Pulse. Now, I was quite excited for this because a lot of people have been asking in different conversations and chat groups and stuff like that, you know, what would you like as the next TVC Haslab? And I said the Ghost. So, you know, I wanted the Ghost, so I thought, well, I'll back it. I don't want to be one of these people that says, yeah, I want this, and this, and this. And then when the time comes, I don't back it. So I backed it. Looking forward to it coming through. But I've got to say, I am a little bit disappointed. Overall, I think it's a huge piece, for crying out loud. It's massive. I mean, this is my coffee table, and it's taken up pretty much most of that. But this, for me, is where the quality and the standards really did sort of drop as far as the TVC Haslabs are concerned. What I'll do, once again, get the handheld and go handheld. So 2 seconds. Okay then, so once again I am handheld, and I'm kind of like panning close to the main panels of this ship, and as you can see, there is just some slight weathering and scuff marks there, a little bit here, chipped paint and stuff like that, but overall it does look very, very clean. I mean, again, you've got some laser blasts just here, you've got some wear and tear just there, weathering and stuff like that, but overall I think when you're paying the money that we paid for this particular vehicle, you expect it to be absolutely top notch. Now, I did do a review of this, and what I'll do is I'll leave a link to that review in the description below to this video. I mean, the engines, again, I quite like that, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more grime, grease and wear and tear on those. I mean, I'm loving that colour green. I do like that a lot. But, I mean, even the inside is very, very clean. You've got like a little bit of grime just here. But other than that, that's about it. The detailing, I'm not knocking that. I think it looks absolutely superb. But it would have been great just to have had like a little bit of wear and tear, some grease. I mean, don't forget, these guys practically lived in this ship. And I know a lot of people have turned around and said, well, all it is just one long corridor with big sort of like chunks of cheese on each side. And look, listen, I totally get that. I get that. I think they could have done a lot more with this particular model for sure. I mean, like I say, overall, just sit myself back down again. I'm quite happy with it. But, you know, you're paying 500 odd quid for this, and I don't think the standard or the attention to detail when it comes to the paint apps is there. And now, bear in mind, a lot of people bought multiples of this, expecting to sell it on or make some money on these. And unfortunately, I don't think that's happened, because on the secondary market, this vehicle is now going for less than it would do at retail. So I'm hearing. Like I say, you've got like a little bit of weathering here. I mean, overall, the cockpit, I love the way that looks. That reminds me of an old World War II bomber. So, you know, the detailing is there. I mean, look at that cockpit. Superb. You've got the gunner's chair there as well. There's a lot to like about this, don't get me wrong, but there's also a hell of a lot that you think, my God, you know, they could have done so much better. For example, if I just pan over to this back panel here, so the Phantom 2 parks itself onto this bit here, but look how clean that is. You've got another ship that's docking in there. You'd have had scuff marks, you'd have had grease, grime, all sorts of weathering, and I think they missed a trick there with that. I really think they did, and it's a shame. And here's the top part there with the top gun turret. Like I say, a lot to like about this, but also they could have done so much better, especially for the money that we've been paying. And I think what's happened with this Ghost is where people are sort of like disappointed and kind of put off by it. I think that's really has like hindered this latest Haslab project. I could be wrong. Again, these are just my thoughts and opinions, so they're not factual. So don't want anybody confusing my opinions with facts. But there you go. But yeah, it is a big piece. It does look really good. But and then you have some people say, well, you know, you could put a coat of weathering on there. No, that's not for me to do. I've just spent 500 quid on this. It should come with that kind of weathering on there in the first place. You know, unbelievable. But what can you do? What can you do? There you are. Well, that's the Ghost. And what I'm going to do now then is just ramble on a little bit about the cantina. The cantina, should I say. Now, obviously, that's not arrived yet, so I can't give too many opinions and thoughts on that at this moment in time. But yeah, 2 seconds. Okay then, so before we get into discussing the cantina, there are another couple of issues or points, should I say, that I wanted to swing back round to regarding the Ghost. The first one I kind of briefly touched on, with the Ghost being in Rebels and Ahsoka. Now, the box that the Ghost came in, that was labelled as Ahsoka. The carded figures that came with the Ghost were labelled Rebels. I wish it would have come with either one or the other and not have both. For me personally, I would have preferred it to have been in a Rebels box, because that's where we first saw the Ghost in Rebels, because then that would have matched up very nicely with the carded figures with the Rebels logo on there. But I can understand why they went for Ahsoka, because at the time the Ghost was released roughly about the same time as Ahsoka was airing on TV. So I'm kind of thinking that the success of The Mandalorian and how the Razor Crest performed as a Haslab, I don't know whether they were trying to emulate that, Hasbro, and hopefully the series, Ahsoka series, would have been successful and that would have given the Ghost a big push. But yeah, for me, it should have been one or the other, Rebels or Ahsoka, and my preference, it should have come in a Rebels box. But like I say, that's just my opinion. The second thing is, there was no Sabine and there was no Chopper as part of the package, the Haslab package for the Ghost. And for me, that is really disappointing, because they are both key characters within the Rebels series. I know they did a Sabine and Chopper 2-pack later on down the line, but I still think they should have come as part of the Ghost package. Again, that's just my opinion. I'm sure it's shared by many, but yeah. But I mean, it's the little things. They're not like big deal breakers, but I think for value wise, I think we should have had not only Hera as part of the base package, but I think we should have also had Chopper on a card as base package as well. But there you go. That wasn't how it went. So yeah. Anyhow, definitely going to move on to the cantina now. So 2 seconds. Next up then, we have the cantina, and this was the 4th TVC Haslab project that Hasbro have done, and it ran from June the 7th to July 9th, 2024. Now, the runtime for the cantina was a few days shorter compared to previous TVC Haslabs. I don't know the reason behind that. I'm sure some of you do, and if you do, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below to explain that, because like I say, I don't know. 8,000 backers needed.
for this to fully fund, and it closed with a total of 14,737 backers, which meant it fell just shy of the final stretch tier, which was Ariel Shush. Shipping, well, 2025, so currently shipping at this moment in time, so it could arrive in the next few days, it could arrive in the next couple of weeks, I don't know, but we have had the email to say that this is on its way. So this was a unique way of doing a HasLab because they gave us two offerings. You had the base offering, which is what we're seeing in front of us now, and that was at $399 99 cents and 399 Great British pounds and 99 pence. And then the deluxe offering was $499 99 cents and 499 Great British pounds and 99 pence. Again, available in the US, Canada, and on Hasbro Pulse. Now, I didn't back this. My wife backed this with my mother-in-law, and this is my 50th birthday gift. So I'm personally looking forward to this turning up. So yeah, and we ordered the deluxe version. Some people ordered both, which is pretty cool because you can have the full cantina, you can have the figures carded, and then you can have a set of figures opened. Now, I was umming and ahhing about getting a base offering, but I've decided against that. I'm just going to be keeping my figures carded. There you go. So yeah, but so what we're seeing in front of us then is the base offering. I personally think it looks pretty cool. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, again, it comes with that lack of attention to detail with the weathering, especially on the inside of the cantina, which is a shame. And if it's going by the Streets of Mos Eisley playset, that didn't come weathered at all. That was pretty atrocious, if I'm honest with you. And excuse the phrase, but I ended up teabagging it just to stain it and make it look a little bit weathered. Whether you're paying, £40, £60, £100, £500, you shouldn't have to be weathering your own goods, really. Personally, that's how I feel. It should come already weathered. But there you go. And I mean, some people, they like to customize and weather and paint their own bits that they buy, which is absolutely fair enough. But for me personally, I prefer it to be already weathered and stuff like that. So, but yeah, there you go. I mean, I'm looking forward to it turning up. I really am. I've got to say, quite happy with that. So here we have some more images. I mean, it does look pretty cool. And yeah, I'm excited for it, if I'm honest with you. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but that will be an issue for me to sort out. So here's the front, the steps that Luke comes down. Here's the bar. I mean, again, there was a lot of criticism and negativity surrounding this, wasn't there? Oh, there's nowhere to put the band. There's no bandstand. Well, they didn't have a bandstand, did they? They just chucked them in one of these alcoves and filmed them in there. That's what I'm going to be doing. That reminds me, I need to get that that pack of the modal nodes. So I'll probably be purchasing that at some point in the near future. So here we have all the bits and bobs. Again, this is just the base offering. Look at all those cups and stools and bits and bobs there. So there's quite a few bits there, quite detailed, which is pretty cool. But again, it does look very clean, doesn't it? Oh yeah, some people are saying there's no roof to it. There's no flooring and stuff like that. I mean, the good thing about this is it's modular, so you don't have to have it like just in one space. You can, fit it around different parts of your display and stuff like that. So you don't have to put it together. I mean, here's Wura. So yeah, pretty happy about that. I'm looking forward to getting him. Again, going to be keeping him carded, like I am with the Tonica sisters. And I think they're up next. Yes, they are. Now, I've got to say a huge shout out to people like John Miko, Jason at Yakface, Chris at Bound for Skull, and Tim from Bosk's Bounty. They're really vocal in the community. And in a good way. They put forward, they're the voice of the TVC community. So, a massive thank you for getting these across the line, or championing these with your March Madness and your last figure standing and all those bits and bobs. So yeah, awesome stuff, guys. And from me personally, really appreciate the work that you do within the TVC community. So thank you, guys. Awesome stuff. What else we got? So here's the full display there. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. Again, price, is it worth 500 quid? Well, I don't know yet because I've not seen it with my own eyes, so to speak. So there you go. But here's the locked tiers then. Here's Greedo. And yeah, awesome. How cool does he look? I am so looking forward to, well, say getting him. He's going to be staying on card, isn't he? But yeah, I hope they do him for the main line at some point and just put him on the original card back. I know they've done that with the Palatoy style Cantina, which they've just released. I did order 2 of those, by the way, and I've cancelled my order. So there you go. I won't be getting those, but never mind. It's all good. It's all good. Here is the second stretch goal, and that was or the second tier, and that was Navron Leeds. Again, looks pretty cool. Decent looking card back. Yeah, happy with that. And here is Ariel Shush, which we didn't get, unfortunately. Didn't quite make it, which is a shame because I think he was he looked pretty cool. But who's to say we won't get him in the future on a different style car back? But yeah, like I say, I can't really talk too much about it. I haven't seen it with my own eyes yet. When it does arrive, obviously I'm going to be doing a review or overview or whatever I want to call it on the Cantina. So I'll give you my true feelings and thoughts when I see it then. Right, so what I'm going to do now then is skip over to the current Haslab. So again, 2 seconds. Righty ho then. So here we have the current Haslab, the LAAT Republic Gunship. Currently running, obviously. 26 days left from the filming of this video. 449 Great British pounds 99 pence and 449 US dollars 99 cents. 8,000 backers needed. Currently at let's just have a look at the big screen. 3,245 at this moment in time. Like I say, 26 days to go. Yeah, it's not doing great, is it? To be honest with you, but listen, I'm not here to turn around and say, do not back this. I'm not here to turn around and say, back it. You're all grown-ups. You're all big boys now, aren't you? So you can all make your own decisions and stuff like that. I personally, I've said before, won't be backing this. And it's not that I don't like it. I think it looks absolutely superb. In fact, you know, I think it's, well, it's my favorite vehicle from the prequel trilogy. But I just can't see the value in it. I'm sorry, at £450 almost. I can't see the value for it. For me personally, you've got 2 troopers there or pilots, which is great. One's carded, one's loose. I think you should have got 1 carded and 2 loose because it takes 2 pilots. And I would have liked to have seen a 4-pack of clone troopers loose as well with it as just the base offering. But yeah, I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame. And I think what's happened here is, I think the price has put a lot of people off. And some people might disagree with me and say it is value for money. Well, it's all about opinions, isn't it? So there you are. But I just feel that you had the Ghost at 400, nearly £500. You had the Cantina at £500 or £400, depending on which one you backed. Some backed both, so that's 900 quid. And then you've got this now at 450. I mean, for 3 years on the trot, you've got expensive items that are coming out of Haslab. And for me personally, I feel Haslabs should be made available for everybody. And I don't think they should be every year. That's just my personal opinion. I think that Haslabs are supposed to be the ideal dream item that you wouldn't normally get. Well, I know we've already got this several times in the past, but then people say, well, people are wanting a sandcrawler, and you got the sandcrawler in the past. Yes, we have. People are saying, well, we want the Imperial Shuttle. Well, that's been done before. Yes, it has. The Imperial Shuttle, that is the same mold as the Return of the Jedi one in 1983. So it's over 40 years old, that model or that mold, should I say. And then they reused that mold for the Power of the Force 2 line or whatever line it was after that. So yeah, it would be great if we got an updated Imperial Shuttle. The Sandcrawler, now, if that was a larger version, because we've only got like smaller ones that they've done, and to be honest with you, they've not been great. I mean, size wise, they've been nowhere near the correct scale. I mean, you're going to be looking at a good amount of money, probably 600-700 quid. Now, that's the thing. If a Haslab was every couple of years, then I wouldn't mind paying 600-700 quid for a sand crawler, because I've not had to fork out the year before. And I'm not one of these people who want all the time and want absolutely everything. That's not the case. I would love this, but I don't think the value for money's there. Space wise, again, we all moan about space, but the space issue can be resolved. You can always work around that. I do have an original Republic gunship, and I think that looks pretty cool. And some people are saying, well, this is more detailed. Well, yeah, at 500 quid, it should be more detailed. It should be, well, it should have better paint apps. Don't forget, the original one was on retail at a reasonable price, and it was aimed at kids. It was a toy. Simple as that. It was a toy. So the detail isn't going to be there. The scaling isn't going to be there. So look, I can see both sides of the argument. Yes, it has been done before, but yes, it is an upgrade, which I think is pretty cool. And like I say, I would love to back this, but I'm going to feel hypocritical if I turn around and do back it. Do I think it's going to back? It's looking very unlikely. I've seen some people turn around and say this ain't going to back. Fact. Well, how do you know it's not going to back? It's not a fact, is it? The Cantina falling shy of the final tier is a fact. It didn't happen. It's a fact. You can't turn around and say it's a fact that this isn't going to back. It may well do. It might pick up. How much further past 8,000 backers it will get, I don't know. But I'm hoping it backs. I do hope it backs. I'm not going to be one of these people that are going to turn around and say, just because I'm not getting it, I don't want anybody else to get it. Serve Hasbro's, it's their fault, serves them right, sort of thing. I'm not like that. It doesn't bother me. So yeah, I hope it backs, because I think people will get enjoyment out of this. But again, these are just my opinions, and I'm not talking in facts here. I mean, look, it does look pretty cool. I've got to say, I do like it. But again, is the value there? Not really. I don't feel. If this was the same price as the Ghost, not the Ghost, it is the same price as the Ghost. If this was the same price as the Razor Crest, then maybe, yeah, I would have probably gone, yeah, I'll definitely back this, absolutely. But yeah, we'll see. And then you've got the unlocked tiers and stuff like that. You've got 10,000 backers for Robert Coleman there, or Coleman Treeball, as he likes to be called. So yeah, very doubtful. Then tier 2, you've got Sinesi Tin, how you pronounce it, and that's 12,000 backers. Again, very doubtful. And then you've got Arjun Cola at 14,000 backers. Again, very doubtful. Again, just my opinion, but there you go. What do I know? Look what I mean. I said the Ghost wasn't going to reach its final tier, but it did. I mean, listen, the price bracket is around the same as the Ghost. It's around the same as the Cantina, and it's around the same as the sail barge. But I think a lot of people have been put off from the Haslabs really after the Ghost, if I'm honest with you. But like I say, I'm not here to rubbish this. I'm not here to turn around and say don't back it. I'm not here to turn around and say it's not going to back. I don't know. It's looking very unlikely. That's my opinion. But like I say, if you're going to back it, back it. If not, don't. No biggie, is it? And some people do take these things very, very seriously. They really do. It's like their life depends on it. But fair play to them. Fair play to them. So there's the card for the Clone Pilot. Like I say, 2 loose and 1 carded would have been great as a base offering. But there you go. I do like the stand. Pretty similar to the one that they did with the Razor Crest. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see. Like I say, there's 26 days to go. But there you are. And there's some more stuff there from Hasbro. Let's just scroll back up to the top. So what do you guys think? I mean, well, I don't want to know what you guys think. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of stuff online, a lot of negativity, but I think it doesn't matter what you do or what Hasbro do, there's always going to be an air of negativity in what they do. So they can't win really. Not my first choice as a Haslab. I would have liked a Sandcrawler, but then again, if a Haslab was supposed to be what it was set out to be, which is the dream item that you wouldn't normally find in retail, and then it was done every couple of years, then yeah, I'd quite happily spend 600-700 quid on a Sandcrawler. Not an issue for me, and an Imperial Shuttle for that as well. What does annoy me is the fact that they say, well, what makes you think a Sandcrawler would back or an Imperial Shuttle would back? Well, it's original trilogy, so the pull is there. You've got the fan base there. I mean, a lot of prequel trilogy fans were crying out, saying last year all the way through the Cantina campaign, oh, the prequel trilogy, we're not getting shown enough love. There's not enough prequel trilogy stuff. Bang, here you go. It's right here in front of you. Where are you now? Where are you? Come on. You wanted something from the prequel trilogy. You've got it, and no one's backing it. So that means to me that basically Hasbro have just pandered to the minority, and it's not got them anywhere, has it, to be honest with you? Because if this doesn't back, where were all the prequel trilogy fans? And I'm not just saying it's prequel trilogy fans. I mean, I think a lot of people, like I say, have checked out after what happened with the Ghost. I mean, people bought multiple Ghosts and they can't get rid of them, or if they do, they're selling them on the cheap, so they're losing money. But yeah, that's it really. Yeah, I've not really got too much more to say, to be honest with you. Fair play to you guys if you have backed it, and I hope it does back. I do genuinely mean that and sincerely mean that. I hope you do back it. I came out straight away and said that I wasn't going to back it, and then I kind of buckled a little bit, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to talk myself into backing it because I get told off, and by myself and my wife, of course. But there you go. Look, listen, I think that's going to be it for this video. So because I'm just rambling now and I don't want it to be a rambling video. So all I've got left to say is, if you're new to the channel, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to let you know of more content. And as always, there will be more content. Appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. It does mean a lot. Very much appreciate your support, your generosity, and your friendships. They do mean a lot. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.